My name is Sarah. Welcome to the It is a Sarah podcast. Today it is Monday, January 26, 2026, and in this episode I want to share my handwerk perikelen. That's a Dutch word for my creative adventures from this week with you. I'm coming to you from the Netherlands, so excuse my Dutchy English. I love to knit, I love to crochet, and I love to talk, so that's the perfect combination for making this podcast. I make my episodes in Dutch and in English, so be sure you pick the right one. Okay, I'm filming standing today. Normally I sit at my desk at the chair, but because of the light I thought it would be a good idea to stay as close to the window as possible. It's a great January day again here in the Netherlands, and I think this will work pretty good, and I can stand, so I can show you my sweater which I'm wearing today. This is my Light Bright. The Light Bright pattern is a pattern from Wool and Pine. It's a top-down raglan DK weight. There's also a fingering weight version. I think it's called the Light Bright. I'm not quite sure. And it is with a scoop neckline, and I really love that. It's actually written as a scrappy project, and there are instructions how you can fade all your scraps. I made a plain one, knitted with Fiala Lopi and some other leftovers. I added this color work myself, and it's absolutely one of my favorite sweaters. I don't know if the raglan is perfect for my shoulder shaping, my shape of shoulders, but I love the lower neckline. I love the yarn, I love wearing it, I love the color. I'm also wearing the Best Headband. That's the pattern's name. I have several best headbands. The Best Headband is a very nice headband. It's a fingering weight pattern by Linda from Wolhobby. She's a Dutch knitter and a Dutch designer. She also makes knitting podcast on YouTube in Dutch and in English. So please check her out. The pattern is also in English, and it's really a lovely construction. I can't show it because I don't want to touch my hair today. I'm very happy it is where it is. But you can tie it together in your neck, and I have a little I-cord right there. It's a very clever construction, and I definitely want to knit more. Yeah, maybe I can cast on one this week. I'm really discovering cast-ons. They are magnetic. I guess they are magnetic. I have had such a wonderful knitting week with a little bit of crochet. In last episode I showed you my Advent project, which is still hanging there, a little bit shabby. Come. We are on YouTube, so stay straight. And after a few weeks of hyper-focused knitting, I was really looking forward to be all over the place. I had a lot of works in progress on my needles, which didn't get any attention for weeks. And I had some cast-on plans, but it was a little bit... it became a little bit more of that, with a reason. I have a big basket. It's not filled with only new cast-ons, and there's also something laying on my desk. I will give them a little bit of attention today, but I won't deep dive into them. But last Tuesday I had all day knitting. Not all day, but I had a lot of knitting time, and I thought it would be nice to pick up my northeasterly blanket back again. It was hibernating for months, maybe even almost a year, I don't know, but I have it in a basket. It's on the shelf close to the window. The basket is filled with some leftovers. I knit the northeasterly blanket as a memory blanket. So every time I finish a garment, a pair of socks or another garment or another thing in fingering weight yarn, I put a little bit of that yarn in the basket so I can add it to the blanket. But I didn't work on it for months. And last Tuesday I thought, oh, let's get back to it. So let's pick it up, and I checked my Ravelry and a notebook and my paper knitting book for the order of the projects. So I thought, let's knit on the northeasterly. So I put out the northeasterly blanket, and then the yarn, and I discovered some serious moth damage. There were a lot of moths in my basket, and I think they have quite a delicate taste because they were all in the Knitting for Olive merino, which was in the basket. I knitted my husband a hat last year, and they love it. My husband loves it, but the mutts, they love the yarn as well. There was a lot of other yarn and my blanket, which they luckily didn't touch, but they filled their bellies with Knitting for Olive merino. Okay. I want to share. I'm not a bad person. I want to share. So I sorted out all the yarns and I winded up the little bit that was left over. I discovered a lot of moth babies in the yarn. I didn't really know what to do with them. I put them with all the Knitting for Olive, which I couldn't use anymore, together in the bin. I thought, okay, yeah, then you have a nice end surrounded by yarn. Yeah, I didn't want to keep them in my house, you understand that. But it really, I know I have moths, it's not a surprise, and we are okay together. Although I think we are okay, but it really reminded me that it's a good idea to keep your yarn moving. I have a lot of stash. They can have a little bit, it's okay. When they damage my garments, I will cry and I will mend. So yeah, don't make it a drama, because I think there's no chance I can get rid of them. So we try to live together and it's okay. I have them for years, it's okay. But I thought, let's move my yarn a little bit, because I have quite some sleeping yarn in my stash, which is there for years. And yeah, when the moths discover a nice sleeping yarn ball, they enjoy it. Yeah, so I thought let's cast on some new projects. I will talk about them in a random order because I just put all in the basket, but that was the start of my week. Let's start some new scrappy projects. Let me see if I can find it. The first one I was sorting out all the small leftovers. I was in my scrappy basket, and that's a lot of fingering weight scraps. And then I sorted out all the browns. I love this. Ooh, I love this. Brown is absolutely my favorite color. I sorted out all the browns and I thought, I don't have a granny square project on my needles right now. I can't live without granny squares for longer than a few weeks. So I decided, let's cast on a granny square blanket. That was actually my idea. I always make scrappy blankets with the colors I actually don't really like, and they look lovely together, but I don't own a brown. There's also green. There's also, this was, oh no, not this one. This was the Knitting for Olive green. Green brownish. It's a bit of a weird color. So I put in the browns and some greens and some whites, and I had the idea of knitting a blanket. But I was having lunch 1 hour ago, and then I had another idea for the brown granny square. So it will be a little bit of a surprise what they will be, but they are making me happy at the moment. I crochet every now and then. I decided to make them 9 rounds because with the 10 round I will crochet them together as I go. I haven't decided yet if I want one main color or if they can be different. 10 is my favorite number. That was the main reason for making 10 rounded granny squares. So yeah, surprise what it will be. No hurry, just having fun with granny squares. Okay, another scrappy project, which is laying right here, has all to do with this yarn. I have a lot of superwash yarn in my yarn stash from Anel. Anel is a Belgian brand. Anel Malmedy is this yarn called, and it's a superwash DK, light DK weight woolly yarn. It was actually my first experience with wool. I started with working with acrylic, and then I didn't know anything. And then I discovered wool, and I realized, oh, wool is so much better. And I helped in a yarn shop many years ago. It closed, and I bought with a good discount all the colors I liked. I did like this one apparently, but it is laying in my stash for I think almost 10 years, and I decided to knit a sweater. I casted on an Olga sweater, also with brown, but I don't have it with me. a stripy Olga sweater. The Olga sweater is a pattern by Petite knit, and the reason I wanted to knit a very big oversized Olga sweater is because of my girls. They are wearing my handmade items all the time. And it makes me so happy that they are happy. And also my son, he was also wearing his sweater. And I feel a lot of love and a lot of motivation to knit more sweaters. And I realized I want this yarn away. It's a superwash. It's a good yarn. It's okay. It feels nice. It's a little bit pilling, I guess, but I thought let's knit an Olga sweater, because just knitting stripes is okay. I don't need a stripy garment myself, and I think they will love it. So it's a very big oversized sweater. It will be a very big oversized sweater. I love the construction. I never have done it this way before, and yeah, now it's there. It's rolling up all the time. Knitting a stripe every now and then is really a heart jumping thing to do. And I was also... Where are my dancing stitches? I always think I'm a loose knitter, a messy knitter, but I'm knitting this back and forth and the stitches are quite straight. It's looking very neat, so that surprised me. Olga sweater. Another sweater for my daughter is not casted on. It was casted on. Last week I told you, I guess, or maybe it was in the Dutch episode, I don't know, that my daughter wanted this Drops Air yarn. She wanted a front porch sweater, the same as her brother, so I thought let's knit 30 minutes every day on that sweater, so I can discover how many hours I actually spent on an oversized sweater. But I was knitting the second 30 minutes and I realized I don't like the combination of the cables with this yarn. My first experience with Drops Air was actually pretty good, but I tried to knit the Marielle blouse, didn't work. I tried to knit the front porch sweater, didn't work. And I realized it's because this is not my yarn. They love to wear the sweater in this yarn. I thought I will knit the same sweater, just a plain one in this color. Maybe add twisted rib or something, the town sweater I knitted with it. Maybe add something like that for a little bit of fun, but it will be a big boring knit. So I cast it on and it will be ready end of the year. It will be the perfect project to bring with me to knit on during social activities, traveling, whatever, because it will be so easy and boring. The only thing is the sweater of the pink sweater I knitted is, I think I needed 8 balls. It was 400 grams, I guess, and I only have 7. So I'm doubting if I will go down one size, if that will be enough. I don't know, I haven't decided. I also didn't cast it on. Okay, the scrappy project, the other one, which is making me very happy, is a shawl. It's a very scrappy shawl. 4 balls are attached, so it's a little bit challenging. This is a scrappy project. It's actually a Purl Soho shawl pattern. The no purl scarf. I don't know if that's the name. I can't remember. I will insert a picture. I wanted to knit a colorful scarf with some sock yarn and other fingering weight yarn in colors which are not really making me happy. I have a very big basket. It's messy right now. I have a big basket with some leftovers. And also some new yarn balls, but with some leftovers. Most of them are sock yarns, and some of them are not, and they are okay. They are actually pretty nice. This is not sock yarn, but just one single skein. They are actually pretty nice, but I knitted so many scrappy socks last year. I can't see any striped sock right now, so I won't knit them in the near future. And I have a lot of beautiful skeins in my yarn stash, untouched skeins, new skeins, and I really want to work with them, but I want to keep this moving. So I decided let's knit a really colorful thick scarf. I had really much fun with making such a scarf last year. It is still in my present box, in my gift box. I was doubting about wearing it myself, but I don't do it. This one will also be a gift one day. It's absolutely a process knit. It is such a lovely pattern. I'm using 6mm needles and 4 strands of fingering weight, because I thought if I use 4 strands of fingering weight, I can also use my DK weight leftovers. 1 DK weight and 2 fingering weight, or 4 fingering weight, or 2 DK weight. I can play a little bit with it, and it's absolutely so much fun. It is really a relaxed rhythmic pattern with a slip stitch, which creates this lovely structure. Maybe the fabric would be a little bit better when I would use 3 strands of fingering weight. It's quite thick right now, or maybe when I knit it with a 6.5mm needle. Yes, it's a 6. It is quite steady fabric, but it's okay. I won't change. It will be a disaster to frog it, and I love the look of it. Sometimes I knit all scrap, the whole scrap away. Sometimes when it's a big scrap, yeah, I just break the yarn when I want some extra color, but it's really lovely to see what's happening color-wise. So this will be a very big colorful scarf, maybe a gift at the end of the year, maybe not, we shall see. But my stash is moving, that was the goal. Then I have a HeartJumping Friday membership part on my YouTube channel, and every Friday I make episodes in which I chat, but mainly I also answer questions. And there was a question from a lovely knitter. She wanted to pick some colors for a specific stranded colorwork knitting, and she was asking for advice. And it was about the sock cardigan, a pattern which I also made a few years ago. And I had some yarn, some beautiful Jamieson's Shetland Spindrift. I always say it wrong. I always say Jamieson's and Smith, but they are 2 different things. Jamieson's Shetland Spindrift, I have it in my stash because I wanted to make the cardigan, but didn't work out. It's not interesting, and I really want to knit something else with this yarn because I really love it. So I cast it on a Willapund vest. It's from the order in Unst. The name is on the tip of my tongue. The name of the designer. Gudrun Johnston. I'm sorry. I love her designs. The Willapund, it's a vest. It's an all-over colorwork vest, and the pattern was gifted to me last year by a lovely viewer. So I don't know if you're still watching, but thank you. I am really having fun with the pattern, although it is a boring part. I thought last Friday, let's cast it on, and then I realized I needed to cast on a lot of stitches in a very thin yarn, and then knit to purl to. That's one of my favorite stitches. Knit to purl to for quite a while. So nothing fun is happening at the moment with this one, but it will be fun. I don't know if I have enough yarn, but we will see when we how we will solve that when there is actually a problem. So it is nice to have it on my needle, so every now and then I can knit around. I have another fun cast on. I think I showed you this book. I was very inspired by watching an episode of Sarah from Miss Wolhobby Knits a few weeks ago, and she showed this book, Nordic Knits from Birger, Berge, and I bought it because I was very inspired by especially the bottle covers she was showing and a lot of other things, and the book is really wonderful. I absolutely love it. And I need new mittens because I have some in Alafoslopi, very straight plain ones, but the yarn is getting thin at some spots, and I can mend them and I will mend them, but I also want to make a stranded colorwork pair of mitts. So I started, I will show you in a minute. De is Dutch. No. Which one? Oh yes. Let me search for the right pattern. The Snowstorm mittens. You can see them right here, although it's not very... I think this picture shows them best. I must confess, I don't know how my feelings are about the pointy edge at the top of your fingers. I don't know if I really love the look of that, but let's make a pair and we shall see. I cast it on. I knit with Willapund. They in the book the originals are knitted with a Rauma yarn. I don't know by head which one, but this is the same thickness Willapund. I picked these 2 colors at my local yarn shop. This is actually, is this the same color? No, I don't think so. This is a headed one, this not, but this is also Willapund. So I love the cuff. It's cabled, but I was surprised because the recommended needles are 2mm for the cuff and 2.5 for the colorwork, and that's quite a tight gauge, and I always need to go down a needle size because I'm a loose knitter. But now I searched through some project pages on Ravelry, and quite some people were writing that the gloves were too small. So you have a women's size and a men's size. I have the women's size, and I must confess, yeah, it is. I love a tight fit. I was doubting about going up one needle, but I think it is okay. I always wear a lot of bracelets, so yeah, it is okay. I'm very curious how the hand part will work out, but my girls, they both have very small hands, so when they won't fit me, I think they will fit them. So not knitted much. This is actually, no, I don't know, not knitted much, but I did cast on. Then, yeah, the project which I spent most time knitting last week is also a colorwork project, which made me very happy. It's in this basket, and it's actually, yeah, it was a gift from a Dutch knitter who also has an online shop, and my whole Dutch episode is about her, and I have an interview with her, and you can watch it if you are interested with subtitles. But she has an online web shop, and she sells the super soft yarns, the Knoll super soft yarns, but it's the same quality as the Holst super soft yarns, and she designs patterns, and she creates kits. You can buy the yarns, but you can also buy the kits. This one was gifted to me, this one I bought myself, and I am mixing them because, yeah, the one was too colorful, the other, the natural coal, I really love the look, but I always have a very strong need of putting some Sarah sauce over it, just knitting a kit. I don't know, I want to have my signature, I don't know why, but it is what it is. So I was playing with the colors, and it's interesting because it's quite a challenge to play with colors. As you can see, I started with this part, all the dark colors, but there was not enough depth. I skipped the light colors, but I really missed them in the color work. So then I started adding the light colors, and yeah, that was better. The yellow and the blue is actually not my favorite combination, but it is better. And then there was a purple. I thought I add brown in every stripe, but I was not sure about it. So I thought, okay, let's make it into autumn colors. And I love the look of the autumn colors even more. And then I thought maybe I like it how it is right now. So I was really doubting, will I play with colors? Will I keep it a little bit autumnal? I think I will play with colors because I have this basket, there are some shade cards, I have this basket filled with all the colors. I can make 2 of those and I can play. The point is, I love knitting with color. I love it. It's making me so happy. I love to combine colors. I love to discover. I don't have any knowledge about colors. I never studied it. For me, picking colors is an intuitive thing, and it doesn't always work out. But yeah, I love to learn while I'm doing it. I really love it. But I prefer to wear darker, neutral colors. So it's always a bit of a, I made a colorful vest and I love it. I loved working on it. I also love wearing it. But most of the time I prefer darker, simpler colors. So yeah, I think it will be okay because I have a brown shawl and another brown shawl, and I will knit another brown shawl. So in between all the brown shawls, I will have a lovely, colorful, stranded knitted, how do you call it? A coal shawl? Coal shawl? Yeah, I think you call it like that. I don't have a coal shawl. So knitting color work is really making me happy. I use 2 different needle points. I think this is my 15mm needle points. I'm pretty sure that I have 15s. I'm a bit confused because you also have the 13. No, I have 15 centimeters. And I'm also using an 8cm needle tip and a short cable. I think this is a 20cm cable, but I'm not really sure. But this way I don't have to knit magic loop. And when I knit color work, I have 1 strand of yarn at my left hand and 1 right, and it feels so rhythmic. It's calming me down. It's really, I love it. I use the stitch markers. I don't know if you can see them. These little charts are 10 stitches every time, and it is very simple color work, but especially with this very simple color work I need stitch markers, because otherwise I will be messing up all the time. And now it's just a nice rhythm. You know which color matches with which number. 1 is white, 2 is white, 3 is brown, 4 is brown, 1 is 5. Nah, you know what I mean. And it really makes it easy, and it's really a recharge knitting. Yeah, and it's also such a project is also really perfect when you start knitting color work. The beginning, the casting on, is a little bit challenging because all the stitches, the thin yarn, you don't want it to be twisted, but you can knit a few rows back and forth if you want to, because this part I will cut into 1 leg of the stitches, and then I will put a needle in the live stitches back again, and I will close it with the Kitchener stitch. So the beginning part is not really important. So yeah, having fun with the colors. I think I will keep knitting color work with the bright colors. Yeah, I think I will. This is the beginning of round, which is looking a little bit more messy. I try to weave in my yarn ends after every stripe, but I didn't do that yesterday. I thought if I knit 1 stripe every day, my shawl will be finished on March 10, and I love the idea of that because it still can be chilly in March, so then I can wear the shawl before it gets too warm. So I think these were all my new cast-ons. Yeah, as I said, it feels as if they are magnetic. If in the cast-on universe everyone is telling you need to be at Sarah's place because she is in a cast-on mood. I already had a lot of work in progress on my needles. What I did last week was quite often setting my alarm for 15 minutes, and I worked 15 minutes on a specific knitting project or crochet project, and then I switched to another one, some new cast-on, some projects which were already in my project bags, already on the needles, and I had so much fun. When I am doing this way, I don't feel the need to do other things. I feel so happy, and it was really HeartJumping, and every now and then I wanted to knit longer on a project. This was also fun, but I really was very efficient in my knitting time. And when I work on one project all the time, when I limit myself, sometimes I get bored and I am distracted by other things, checking my phone for the I don't know how many times, and which is absolutely not needed and not necessary, but also doing other things, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I just love knitting and crocheting the most. So finding a way to yeah, be happy while you're doing that was really satisfying, and we shall see how long it works. I'm not very hard, and I don't need to finish any of these projects that's not a rule. When they are becoming energy leaks, when they are not making me happy again, I can frog them. I have some projects on my needles for a very long time, but I don't have any projects on my needles which are energy leaks. They are all, well, all good. I'm not sure if I will make them all. I'm not sure if I will finish them all, but when they start to bother me, I will frog them, because that's not necessary. Knitting is my fun activity. So yeah, that's really nice. And yeah, I didn't update my Ravelry project because I was really in the knitting mood. I didn't want to spend any time on taking pictures and making notes on my laptop. I just wanted to knit. Maybe I will be able to do that this afternoon. I will link down all the patterns I used in my show notes. Yeah, maybe I will manage to make a project page of every project. It is my plan for this week. But if they are not appearing, you know I'm knitting and crocheting, and you know I'm happy. So yeah. Okay, this was it for this week. I hope you will have a lovely week with a lot of heart jumping moments. If you can't find them, create them because we need them. And I hope to see you coming Friday at the Heart Jumping Friday, in the Heart Jumping Friday part of my YouTube channel, or otherwise another Monday. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Bye bye.